Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking once more about that major upcoming snowstorm. Today, we're actually going to be releasing our official snowfall forecast for that one as well at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Now, before we get started with this video, though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I would also highly recommend that you check out our store. We have lots of awesome products, and you can actually use the code FRIDAY to get a Black Friday discount. That's $5 off of any purchase, and that's only going to be going on throughout the rest of today, and then it's going to expire, so check that out. Also, check out our very exciting Patreon page, because after this snowstorm, there's going to be a massive cooldown, and we just made a post about that huge cooldown coming to the eastern United States just a couple of days from now. So go check it out. It's cheaper than the price of a Starbucks coffee, and you can always cancel, so you might as well just go check it out. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, when do you think our next snowstorm after this one will be, and where will it hit? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now, let's get into this video, and first things first, we're actually taking a look at current radar here. You can see that cold front up to the north. That's where our cold is going to come from, and you can see that the storm has formed down there for the Gulf Coast. So let's quickly move ahead to 8 p.m. tonight, which is going to be Sunday, November 29th. And as you can see that storm is going to start moving a little bit further north. That cold front has come further south, and they are going to meet in the Ohio Valley. That's what's bringing all of this together, this big snowstorm. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards where we're going to finally begin to see snow from this system. Actually, starting tonight, we're going to start to see snow showers for Illinois and Indiana. Just in a moment, I'll be showing you guys that. So this is maybe about, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 a.m. tonight, heading into Monday, November 30th. And as you can see, our low pressure center is now located probably right over about Gatlinburg, Tennessee by this point. And as you can see, there is tons of precipitation associated with this system. We have snow showers mixing in for Illinois and Indiana as that cold is racing to the east to meet this storm. And then by time we finally reach maybe about 8 a.m. here on Monday, November 30th, you can see it all comes together, and we begin to see some pretty moderate to maybe heavy snowfall going on in between Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana there. We have our low pressure center located over central West Virginia. There is a 996 millibar low pressure center, which is actually quite strong. So this is not some weaker storm. This is a very intense storm, actually. We'll be taking a look at it in a moment, but there is very strong winds for the coast associated with this, as well as just heavy rainfall anywhere that's not seeing snowfall. Likely to see half an inch to an inch of rain, maybe more for some areas. We'll take a look at that in a moment, like I said. What we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to move on towards about, I would say, maybe 12 p.m. on Monday, November 30th. We're going to see even heavier snow begin to develop for Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. All right, and here we are by about, again, maybe 12 p.m. here on Monday, November 30th, which is tomorrow from the time I'm making this video. Some very deep cold has moved into the central United States. Again, there's going to be a Patreon post about that today. For as cheap as a Starbucks coffee, you guys can go join. You can always cancel, so you can go check it out, and if it's not your thing, you can feel free to cancel. No hard feelings at all. It's worth at least checking out, because there's some awesome stuff I get to post there. As we can see, there's some moderate snowfall going on for Michigan, Indiana, Ohio especially there, and then even northern Kentucky. Notice the high elevation areas there in the Smoky Mountains. We are starting to see some snowfall mix in. They're going to get some heavier amounts out there. Our low pressure center is now located right around Virginia. I would say just north of Winchester, Virginia there. A very strong low pressure center of 994 for a winter system. That is quite intense, actually, especially one that's over land, not out to sea. So very intense storm we have on our hands here. And it gets really interesting as we move towards about 10 p.m. tomorrow on Monday. We begin to see this storm really move north. It's probably over the Adirondacks by this point, but the most interesting thing is that we begin to see those winds come from the north to the south in Ohio, and I really think by this point the lakes are playing a giant role in how much snow these areas are seeing. The low pressure center being in the area certainly helps, but there is some definite lake effect enhancement going on here. By the way, I wanted to mention we're using our RGEM model. Right now, we've been using the European model, but since this storm is so close, it's better to use high-resolution models, eventually transition to those. And this is by far the best high-resolution model there is, in my opinion. So we see Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky seeing some snow showers. Probably Ohio, it's a little more organized there in that more larger, deeper blue region there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards where we're going to start to see very heavy lake effect snow. We will talk about the total winds, the total rainfall, and then we're going to start getting into some modeled snowfall forecasts. And at the very end, we will get into our official direct weather snowfall forecast for this snowstorm, all coming up. Now here by time we're taking a look at maybe, I would say 2 or 3 p.m. on Tuesday, actually maybe a little bit earlier, maybe about 10 or 11 a.m. actually here on Tuesday, December 1st. We can see some moderate to heavy snowfall for Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, portions of New York seeing some lighter to moderate lake effect snowfall. There's probably some warmer temperatures in the middle layers, and that's preventing snow from happening in a lot of those New York regions. There's some warmer air, I think, somewhere in some of the middle or upper layers that's preventing that from happening. As we move towards that night, maybe about 12 a.m. on Wednesday, December 2nd, we can still see some moderate to heavy snowfall from lake effect, purely from lake effect by this point for Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York still. So you're probably picking up on the fact that those areas are probably going to see the most snowfall there along the lakes, and you're probably right if you're thinking that. We will see that in a moment. But first, here is our accumulated maximum wind gusts here, and this is in miles per hour. So you can see near the coast, in those greens, we're taking a look at 34 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And as you get into those oranges, that's 50 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So very intense winds there for the coast from this very strong system. The total rainfall, and this is including the snowfall, so some areas in Ohio aren't going to see rainfall, so that's only going to be in the form of snow, but more for areas along the coast. You can see you can get 1 inch to maybe 2 inches in those oranges and reds, so we'll want to be watching out for that. Some of the southeast states as well, especially again in those oranges. Let's get right into the modeled snowfall forecast. And first off, our RGEM, we will go over the color shades real quick. In the grays, you're expecting maybe a dusting. As you get into the blues, that's where you're at about 2 to 6 inches of snow. The purples is indicating 6 to 9 inches of snow, and then those pinks is indicating 9 to even 20 inches of snow. So as we get towards Cleveland and just to the east of Cleveland there near Erie, Pennsylvania as well, that's where we're over a foot, probably about 12 to 20 inches of snow being picked up there according to this model. Let's move on to our NAM model, and as you can see, this one's showing a little bit less widespread with those heavier amounts, but overall it actually looks quite similar. Same story with our European model. They're all on the same page here. The European model actually has a little bit more than the rest of the models. Very interesting there. And then finally, I wanted to show you guys one thing here though. This is our snow depth that the model is picking up on, and you can see it actually appears to be a lot less. Still near the lakes, we're picking up 6 to 12 inches of snow there in those pinks, but it's definitely less widespread with those heavier amounts. We'll need to take that into consideration that some of these models are picking up on warm ground temperatures, warm middle layer temperatures. They're expecting mixing issues. There could be a lot of messes with the forecasts here coming out from multiple sources, not only myself. So we'll need to watch for that closely. We could see some impacts that lead to less snowfall or even more snowfall than expected. And then finally, here's our GFS model. Look at the amount for West Virginia there. 20 to 30 inches of snow being picked up there. Very interesting and definitely very heavy amounts there for northern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania, and very far western New York there. What we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to finally take a look at our official direct weather snowfall forecast for this snowstorm we've been talking about for many, many days. This might be our last video for this one. All right, now here we are taking a look at our first layer for the snow forecast. This forecast is for the 30th through the 3rd, by the way, so that encompasses the entire storm there. So rest assured, this is the entirety of the storms and the lake effect that follows it. This is the entirety of the snowfall. Anywhere in this white, I'm expecting a dusting to 3 inches of snow. Areas outside of this might see flakes, but this is generally the area where I expect accumulation to be possible. I would say anywhere outside of this has less than a 50% chance of seeing accumulation. In our second layer here, the lighter blue region, this is where we're at about 3 to 6 inches of snow. So this is where we start talking about actually a pretty good amount of accumulation. So that does extend well through western and upstate New York as well. But also the Smoky Mountains, West Virginia, mostly just Ohio and Indiana for the most part though, even northwestern Pennsylvania. And then finally, we have our 6 to 10 inch region as well here, and that encompasses a lot of Ohio, northern half, I would say, of Ohio, a bit of northwestern Pennsylvania as well, all of those regions in the 6 to 10 inches of snow, even a little swath of northwestern Indiana there where we could get some lake effect snow, coming off the lake there, so we'll definitely be taking a look at quite a bit. And then finally, our final layer, 10 to 15 inches of snow is going to be possible for northern Ohio and northwestern Pennsylvania. That lake effect snow is definitely going to tack on quite a few inches after the storm is all said and done. And you can see all of our numbers on the screen there, so just in case there was any confusion, there is the amounts there within the color shades. So anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, which state do you think will see the most snowfall from this storm? And Tom Wolf said, Ohio seems more likely to get the bulk of the snow depending on how the lake effect sets up and where the system tracks. And I definitely agree. I think Ohio is going to get the most. Anyway, for our patron highlight of the day, which now has our winter background, which actually looks really awesome. I'm very excited about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I would like to thank all of you for supporting the channel, but especially our diamond patrons, and we actually have a couple more, I think. Michael Codalessa, Felix Wheatfield, Michael Buell, Mariah Vieira, Alicia Davis, Marcus Conley, Catbite, Alan Cherry, Terry Curtis, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Bill Roberts, Mark J, Noah Harley, and Kellen Manhart. I think I covered all of you. Maybe Cindy Klein I didn't say yet, so there you go. And also our platinum patrons, Adam S., Justin Quantrell, John Bembenek, also Alan Belemo, Larry LePan, Justin Quantrell, Donna Carnes, Dovie Nagel, James Wade, and Cameron Marshall. If you would like to end up on this patron end screen, you can do so by joining our very exciting and very affordable Patreon page in the description and the pinned comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.